Hello, this is Corinne Green from formattinglady.com, and I am at the Createspace website where they have the templates for their books. I've seen a lot of concerns in the forums over the template not working right or not being able to cut and paste properly, so I thought I would make a tutorial on how to use the template. Today I have downloaded the 6x9" template, the formatted one, not the basic one, and the reason is that the formatted one has the front matter with the chapters and the pages and everything laid out for you. It also has additional tips, so if there's something I don't address in this tutorial that you need some help with, you can find it there. Again, here's the website. If you want to hit pause on the video, then you can copy it down. If not, you can find a link for it at my website under advice and tutorials at formattinglady.com. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the template and we're going to go over some definitions real quick here. Before I say anything, I would like to say thank you for visiting me, and if I help you out, please remember to click like on the way out. These are section breaks, and I think where a lot of the confusion comes in is there's not really a whole lot a definition or explanation out there from Microsoft as the difference between a section break and a page break. So I like to describe it as maybe a subdivision. If you think about a subdivision with its tall fences, its privacy fences in the backyards, you wouldn't get in the car and drive down the backyards running over those fences to get to the end of the street. That would cause a mess. It'd cause a mess in everyone's backyard, and it would certainly upset your neighbors. And if you copy and paste over the section breaks, you're going to upset the entire template. The section breaks are there, they're important. So if you're going to think of those like a fence, it will help out a lot. Page breaks are kind of like if you want to get to the end of your street, you can think of a page break kind of like your driveway. You can just back out of your driveway and drive to the end of the street, and your neighbor's driveway and the neighbor next to them and the neighbor next to them doesn't really affect your ability to drive to the end of the driveway. It doesn't affect or drive to the end of the street. It doesn't affect anything. So that's kind of the best analogy that I can think of to describe the difference between page breaks and section breaks. We want to keep the page numbers separate, basically. The next big thing is copying and pasting. I'm going to copy and paste the manuscript over here on here, but before I do, I'd like to go over something real quick. If you're cutting out a pattern and you want to make a pair of pants, you don't cut out the pair of pants in a size 2 if you're a size 8. That certainly is way too small. On the other hand, you don't cut out a size 16 if you're size 8. That would be way too big. There's way too much bulk. I like to turn these paragraph markers on when I'm cutting and pasting because sometimes if you can't see them, it's hard to recognize with our eyes that the computer is actually seeing formatting here. So sometimes it's accidentally easy to pick up or delete these spaces when we may need them or we really need them not to be there. So I put this on, and I always think cut only where you need to cut out. So I'm going to be using my Mobi copy, and I'm going to be copying and pasting from that. So I choose only that. I'm leaving my name off for the moment, and I'll be going over that in just a second. So we come over here, and again, not down here because I don't want to accidentally delete these spaces. I want them to stay exactly the way they are. And then right click, and I want to keep source formatting. If you've already been working with this, you may already have your fonts the size and format that you want, at which point you can keep your own fonts. I'm going to go with the recommendation that Createspace has given me here because I'm using my Mobi fonts, and of course the Kindle buyers can put the font any size they want. So I want to sort of make sure people can read it. Now here is a little quirky thing that comes up. It wants to choose the whole thing, and what you don't want to do is get frustrated with this and go, well, I'm just going to cut and paste over it anyway. It will delete this, and you remember what I said about don't tear down the neighbor's fence. It's going to cause problems. So we want to be very careful with that. Even trying to go backwards, it still doesn't want to do it. It takes some dexterity, and can I do it this time? Yep, I can do it. If you can get it actually chosen, then you can cut and paste as normal. However, if it's just giving you a hard time and you are tired of dealing with it, or it's challenging your ability to keep your language in check with other people in the room, you can just cheat. I've done it before. And then you just delete, 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 and then pause there so you don't accidentally delete the section break. If you do accidentally delete it, no worries. You can just go up here and hit undo, and it'll put it back in there for you. Now we're going to copy and paste the copyright section. And back over here to Kindle version. And again, be careful, don't pick up any extra spaces. Only what you want to be over here. And if you notice, you're going to need both of these ISBNs, so make sure you have them ready. So what you're going to want to do is change this to make sure it says print edition, and then change over the ISBNs to be consistent with this. Dedication. My book does not have a dedication. It's A Genie's Point of View, the Allison Chronicles. I'm a retired police officer, and what the Genie's Point of View series is there little calls that I've gone out on over the years where maybe I didn't like the way it came out, so I kind of just made the genie up, and I use the genie to even the playing field, that kind of thing. So a little bit of psychological release there. So if you do purchase the genie, please enjoy. Know that they are based on real people, but the names and places have been changed so dramatically, and well, obviously some of the things that happen to the people are impossible. So there's a lot of fantasy thrown in there with it. So, but if I wanted to put a dedication, I might put 2 crime victims and leave it at that. You'll notice here there's a section break here, and there's one back up here. And what this does is it creates a blank page in your print book where buyers of print book expect to find a blank page. Very important that your book is consistent with the industry. I have a separate tutorial for the table of contents called using the Createspace table of contents. If that doesn't help you out, or if you're just frustrated and you just don't want to deal with it, I will format this for you for 25 cents a chapter, and I will make sure that this is correct and that the page numbers are lined up according to the chapter, and that these are deleted or added as they need to be added or deleted, and whether or not you want the 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or whatever in there, or just the chapter names. I'll take care of all that for you. Just make sure you put it in the instructions. And then there's another vacant lot if we want to stay with our subdivision theme. Acknowledgements. I don't have any acknowledgements for mine, so I'm going to use this as the opportunity to delete. Choose what you want to delete, hit the delete key, then hit it again. What you want to do though is just be very, very careful. You don't want to delete these. You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, because you want them all to be the same size in your print book. That way they'll all be the same amount of distance from the top to the bottom. If you decide that you do not want to deal with copying and pasting onto this template and you are done, because don't forget down here at the bottom, these are section breaks here too. They're not page breaks. So do these chapters one by one. And if you get tired of dealing with it, I will copy and paste the entire manuscript for you for 25 cents a chapter. That does not include doing the table of contents, which of course is a separate service. So please, thank you for visiting, and click like on the way out if I helped you out. Have a great evening.